This podcast has been sponsored by Refine Recovery. If you or a loved one struggling with mental health, substance abuse, really just trying to change your life, give us a call at the number below. We can help you out. Welcome, everybody, to episode 9 of the Recovery Refine podcast. We have an awesome fucking guest today. Colin, Scummy, Morrison came out. Sick freestyle motocross rider, huge recovery advocate, too. Stoked to have you, bro. Thank you for making the drive out.
Yeah, thank you, man. It's an honor being here. I love your show and mission getting down here, dude.
Yeah,
so much
bro.
traffic, but we did it, and yeah, pumped to be here, man.
It's crazy, dude, like being not from Cal. You grew up out in California, right? So, like, I'm sure you're used to it a little bit, but when I see like 50 miles or 45 miles on a GPS, I'm like, oh, it's going to take me 45 minutes. And that could be like 3 fucking hours.
You don't go. It's like everything opposite of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, last night said 30 minutes, and then today took 2 hours. So, yeah, just part of the deal.
Yeah, it's fucking trip, dude. Well, you've got around 3 years sober now, right? Or do you have 3 years?
3 years of real sobriety, you know, really putting the work in. And, yeah, first time I tried to get clean, 2012, tried to do it my way, every way possible, and just kept on hitting that wall, man.
Yeah,
but yeah,
sure.
3 years of real sobriety. I think I just got my first sobriety chip April 16th. So yeah, last month.
Fuck
and,
yeah, dude.
Feel good, bro. Like where my life is today, it's insane and a crazy journey to get here, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, dude. Like, I think us as addicts, alcoholics, we want to do it our way.
Yeah.
But you have to like beat your head against the wall so many times to be like, I don't know fucking shit about staying sober. You know?
It took me a long time, bro. Like, yeah, I guess that's all part of my story, dude. But yeah, it's been a crazy journey, and like looking where my life is right now, I feel like every one of my rock bottoms and pitfalls has like ended up working out into my favor. Just didn't see it at the time. And yeah, where I'm at today, it's a blessing, bro. Like even just to be able to do this with you right now, it's an honor for me to like share my story because I shouldn't be here. I know you shouldn't be here. So giving back, bro.
Yeah, I got a special. I was talking with RJ about this last week on his podcast. I got sober from a podcast, so there's like a special place in my heart for like telling your story out loud on the internet. Which in this day and age, that's how you hear some shit that resonates with you. Right?
Yeah,
like. I was listening to this fucking podcast. This guy was telling his story and, you know, how he got sober. And I couldn't go to a meeting at that time. I was like alone in my house getting high, you know? So fucking appreciate you coming out, dude.
Yeah, dude. I was thinking like I was talking about this with somebody, but like I first tried to get clean in 2012 and that was before social media. And I just like, there was nowhere you could go or to like look up to people that were sober, dude.
Yeah.
I had like, I didn't even know it was a thing at that time. Maybe that was just me, but it's not what it is now where there's so many like ways to want to get pumped to get sober, I guess.
It's a weird thing because like most sobriety circles, whether it's like AA, NA, it's like these secret society type of shit. So it's like, I wasn't hanging around with people who were going to AA when I was getting loaded. I had like my dad got sober through AA, but he never pushed it on me. It honestly made me resent it. I was like, kind of like, you know, fuck that. I'm like punk, dude, you know, like fuck him. I don't have to go the same way he did. But yeah, the social media game's crazy. It's like somebody might hear something that really resonates with them from your story, bro.
Yeah, no, I love it. And yeah, man.
So take me back to the start from Simi Valley.
Actually from Moorpark.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have a crazy childhood, dude. I have like, that's why I always say like I shouldn't have ended up the way I did. I had like the best family, grew up in Moorpark, California, and yeah, I had the best parents ever. I don't know, one day my mom just didn't come home. She left, ran off with her boss. That really like kind of messed me up a little bit as a kid.
How old were you?
I think I was 8. You know, I never saw that coming. That, you know, but it wasn't like I was rebelling. Like I was a good kid, dude, you know? But for me and my dad started doing really cool stuff. You know, he took me to my first Supercross race at Angel Stadium. And that was like a spiritual fucking experience for me, dude. Because before that, normal kid trying to figure out baseball, soccer, whatever. But yeah, after I saw my first dirt bike at that stadium, it changed me, dude. I knew what I was going to be the rest of my life. It really changed me. And Yeah, that kind of shaped the whole course of my life, man. It was every weekend, me and my dad going to the dirt bike races after I got my first dirt bike. And
How old were you when you got the first dirt bike?
I was 12.
Were you ripping around like instantly, or was there a learning curve?
Yeah, definitely a learning curve, but
Yeah.
I just had like such a passion to be a pro dirt bike rider. I just knew what I was going to be.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just a family sport. Me and my dad going to the track every weekend, man. And yeah, elevated pretty quick. I think at age 16, like a lot of broken bones, but that's kind of when I like turned pro. I like really elevated quick and right time, right place. But I was at this track doing like the biggest jump there, and I got noticed from Seth Enslow. These are the biggest guys in motocross.
Yeah.
Like these are the dudes I'd watch on movies like 1,000 times a day. They saw me and they came up to my dad and they asked if they could take me on a film trip. And in motocross, that was the biggest thing ever.
Yeah.
That's like, it was just the biggest thing ever. You know, before that, these guys are gods to me. And now, like the next week, I'm going on a film trip with these guys. And that's kind of like where everything started for me, dude.
Yeah,
Everything.
That's fucking crazy. So were you still in high school or?
Yeah, still, I think I was a freshman and I was such a good kid in school,
Yeah.
you know, because I knew like good kid, I got to ride my dirt bike, you
Yeah.
know? So I was never the guy like smoking weed, drinking. I was just a good dude in school and going to the races with my dad every weekend.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
And then you kind of got plucked out of this situation and you're like with the people you're looking up to instantly. That's fucking crazy. There's not many sports where that happens, right?
Yeah.
Like usually it's this long drawn out process of like having to get noticed by scouts and different shit. And they just like saw you and were like, we want this fucking kid on the team.
These were my heroes, Seth.
Yeah.
These were the guys like in racing. It was dudes like with corporate sponsors training to like win the race. The guys I looked up to, tattoos, partying with chicks, going to the desert, jumping 100-foot jumps. Like those were my heroes, like the punk rock side of motocross.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, dude, it was insane. I remember seeing him like, Dad, that's Seth Enslow. And then, yeah, they came up to me. And, yeah, it was literally one weekend I'm with my dad going to the races. The next week, I'm with the group of the gnarliest dudes in the sport. And, like, I was in. It felt like I was dreaming.
Yeah. What was the film trip like? Were they like sheltering you from the craziness going on, or were you just like immersed right up in it?
No, I was immersed.
Fuck yeah.
That's
dude.
where I saw my first like bong rip
Yeah.
first time, you know, and I was like the little kid. And I remember like that first bong rip, like instantly, dude, because they never saw it. So like I got to hit the reset button because they never got to see I'm this good kid, good family. Like I just wanted to be like these guys. So I like, you know, I just wanted to be like these guys. So I remember taking my first bong rip with them. First time I drank, blacked out.
Yeah.
And I was the young pup on tour, you know. They're like, damn, this kid could hang. And they were, I just wanted to be like them, bro. I just wanted to hang. And looking back at it, I feel like I definitely had the allergy, dude. Because I remember that first bong rip. I'm like, I love it, dude.
Yeah,
I
want
wanna do
another
this
one.
forever.
Yeah.
That's like kind of where it all started, bro.
Yeah, I had the same
Fast.
experience. Like I like the first time I smoked weed, like I didn't really like the way it made me feel, but I loved like the community I was in. We're like out in the fucking woods, being like degenerates and shit, and that's like what I enjoyed. But I was similar to you, man. Like even before that, like I was doing well in school, like I played sports. What was like the transition like? So being somebody who just goes to the track on the weekends with your dad into transitioning pro, how do they define pro in freestyle motocross? Is it when you get a sponsor? Or?
At this time, there was no freestyle motocross.
Okay.
You know, I was always a guy like, I didn't even care about coming in dead last on the track. I was the dude showing up. I just like to do big jumps. So I was a guy doing the biggest jumps that nobody else would do on tracks. And I was a guy just doing tricks over the biggest jumps. And like
In like a supercross race?
no, just like a normal, like
okay.
local race. And like
Got it.
that's because that's what they did in the movies I watched. Like
Oh,
Seth
dope.
Enslow, they were the dudes just going big. And yeah, I was all about just going bigger than everybody. And then that's kind of how I got noticed. Seth just saw this kid doing this jump over and over. Because usually at a track, you're trying to like see how fast you can go around the track.
Yeah.
I would cut the track, find the biggest jump, and do that over and over and just do tricks. But this was before that was even a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where they saw me. And then the next week we just went, I think we went up north, just out to like the desert. And that's what this movement was, taking these pro dirt bike riders out in the hills, doing the biggest jumps. And that stuff. This was before freestyle motocross.
Oh, so you guys were like kind of the pioneers of
We
what
were the
happened.
pioneers. Yeah, it wasn't even called freestyle motocross at the time. It was just like this punk side of motocross where they just showed the dudes out in the hills going big, partying, the whole lifestyle. Because before that, there was no such thing as that. You know, you just saw the guys on the track giving the thumbs up after they won the race. Very corporate, and there's this whole other side that nobody saw. That's what this movement was about. Crusty Demons of Dirt. So.
That's sick. So it's like kind of similar to like skate tapes back in the day,
Same
where it's
exact
showing
thing,
the
yeah.
culture, and
Yeah.
it's not even necessarily about like what tricks being done. It's more
Yeah.
the lifestyle that's going on.
And the guys that made, I forget the name of the super punk rock snowboarding movie back in the day, but the filmmakers of that movie, those were the guys that made Crusty Demons of Dirt.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was
It's like
that
heavy
same
crossover.
deal, just showing a whole different light to motocross.
And then that from those types of videos in that movie, right? That's how X Games started to create like the sport, right?
In the sport of motocross, Crusty Demons of Dirt was a game changer.
Yeah.
For any kid in that generation, changed them.
Yeah.
It was, because there was nothing else like that.
How quick did like the competitions start coming after that?
Well, that's why, like, for me, right time, right place. Because I got picked up, I got noticed, got with these guys. They like totally had my back, supported me. And I think like 6 months later was the first year X Games had motocross.
Oh,
and I
sick.
got invited.
Nice.
And then from there, that's where freestyle motocross started. I
Yeah.
think it wasn't even called freestyle motocross at the time. So yeah, right time, right place. And then after we were on X Games, it blew up.
Yeah.
Like literally, it's so crazy because it happened so fast. I didn't even like realize that I'm fucking living the dream. I'm like with these guys like overnight, dude. I like got invited to X Games, and after that, freestyle motocross blew up.
Yeah.
Worldwide, huge.
I remember that time. Like, what year is this? Would you say?
98.
98?
98,
Okay.
yeah.
So a little bit before my time. I was born in 94, but I remember in like the early 2000s, like popping on ESPN, and action sports was fucking everything. It was like action sports paintball.
Yeah.
Like this whole
Yeah.
like culture, dude. And being a kid from Missouri, I'd like see everybody out in California. I'm like, that looks so
Oh, it was,
fucking
yeah,
sick,
it was
you
a
know?
different deal, dude.
Yeah.
And it just like blew up, dude. It like blew up. My alcohol and weed smoke, and it was just like part of the deal, dude.
Yeah.
I feel like the lifestyle of freestyle back in the day was so hardcore,
Yeah.
and then it just like it intermingled so good. Like you go that big on a dirt bike, you're partying hard at night, and at that time it was all about smoking weed, drinking. I got hurt a lot, so pain pills, but it was never like a problem. It was just part of it, dude. And then we started the group, the Metal Mulisha. That was
Yeah.
like a group of us, like 5 of us. It was
Like Brian Deegan, those
Brian
dudes.
Deegan.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like Travis Pastrana. He was the good guy.
I didn't
like-
know he was in Metal Militia.
No,
actually.
he wasn't.
Oh,
We
but
were-
he was the opposite.
He was
yeah.
opposite. We were
Yeah.
all like characters, you know,
Yeah.
like it was rad. It was almost like WWF, whatever.
Yeah.
We all had like characters, but it was the real deal. You know,
Yeah.
every time we put our helmet on, like you knew you could die, dude. It was
Yeah.
so gnarly, the level of shit we were doing. Like I have so many friends that got paralyzed in front of me, that died in front of me. It was like what we were doing on dirt bikes was so gnarly. So then, yeah, when you get off your bike and you party, you're fucking raging,
Yeah,
dude. And
for
then,
sure.
yeah, my ego blew up because it felt like overnight I just had this name and like everybody wanted to hang out with me. The phone calls ringing, getting paid so much money, traveling every weekend, different country, different state. Like, yeah, I just felt like we were rock stars overnight, dude. I didn't know how to handle it. And I was just going with it, man. It was insane. You know, like every summer I was on the Vans Warped Tour. We had like our own tour bus,
bet that was
jumping
fucking
in front
nuts.
of 30,000 kids. After partied just every fucking night, the gnarliest party ever. And I remember that's where I did coke the first time. After doing that, I realized like this isn't what I thought. And then like it was game on to any drug.
Yeah.
And that's just what it was, like every day. Jump my dirt bike, the women, partying with all your fucking favorite punk bands,
Yeah.
but they want to party with you. It was just crazy. My ego blew up so much, and then we just could do no wrong, dude. Like
Yeah.
everywhere we went, like promoters knew we were gonna fuck up everything and then get paid to do autographs, and just it was insane. It was the crazy fucking lifestyle, and I loved it.
Yeah.
It was the best.
Yeah, I mean,
the
like
best times of my life.
Like they talk about it's like fun with some problems and then just straight problems. That's like the
Yeah.
ascension of addiction. Were the other dudes you were partying with, were you always like the last man standing? Was it clear that you like went the hardest?
It was very clear. It was so hard for me. Like after an event, you know, the after parties and like whatever, I could not figure out how to like, when the guys would switch it off, all right, it's time for bed, got to get ready for the jump show. I didn't understand it. Like, why do you want to end this? This is the best.
Yeah.
I was the dude that kept it going all night, barely riding the next day. And I don't know how I did not get hurt on my dirt bike, because there were so many times I got up, did not sleep, and did a jump show the next day.
That's fucking insane. Like loaded to the gills. Like,
dude, I did like 180-foot jump over a moving train. Didn't even sleep the night before. Like crazy shit, dude. Got arrested in Germany on tour. Like, yeah, just so many crazy things as we know, but it was just insane.
So the signs were kind of there with you from the get-go.
The signs were 100% there.
Yeah,
people knew, but...
Do you think, like, because you were talking a little bit about, like, the drinking after, like, hitting a big trick or doing these jump shows, do you think, like, the partying culture led to you guys, like, not having as much fear? Because you guys were, like, pioneers starting, doing shit people had never done before. Do you think, like, the drinking and drug use kind of led to that no fear mentality?
I don't know, because ultimately it started being good on a dirt bike. Like, I was a good dirt bike rider before the drugs and alcohol, and I get told that a lot, you know, and there's like a different part of my story. Like this last time in rehab, I did this like big 200-foot jump, and the times in the past I was loaded every time I did it. And then I'm like, I want to do this sober. Thinking, and I realized how much better I did it sober. Yeah, so I don't know. It was just really dumb, and just this lifestyle thinking you're indestructible. The ego was at such a high level, and but I was definitely that 1% of the dude that just couldn't stop partying. And it was like evident. Like my time in the sport was maybe 10 years, but if I really break it down, it was only like 3 or 4 years of actually like where I'm excelling in riding. People are like, damn, he's killing it. And then after that, it was all ran on ego, my name, and all about the drugs, dude. Like I'd say after the backflip came about in our sport, that's where like Travis Pastrana, they did a backflip, 80 foot. And like it made or broke all the riders. You either stepped it up and did the backflip to keep on competing and like to really up it up, or dudes just fell out of the sport. I was too focused on partying. I never, like all my friends that I started with, they really got their shit together and took it to a next level. And I just kept on partying, dude. And that's where I started to go downhill quick. Yeah, I remember when the whole backflip thing was going on. It was when X Games was broadcast, national fucking television. I remember when Travis did the double backflip, which was fucking crazy. You were there? Yeah, it was insane. Yeah. When you're watching something like that and thinking back to when you were a kid, like, is it crazy to see how the sport's progressed? It's insane. You know, like the very first freestyle contest, Carey Hart did like, he grabbed the back fender, and it's called a Superman seat grab, where like your feet are, you're like pretty much flying. And he did it so half-assed, so small, but the crowd, like 30,000 people went nuts. And it was like, now it'd be embarrassing. If you saw, you'd be like, what is that? Back in the day, it was insane. Yeah. Now these guys are doing double backflips, and people don't even care anymore. Yeah. And it was cool to say I got to see all that, and I got to be a part of that. Yeah. And it's really sad because at that time when the backflip came about, I could have hung with all my group of guys in Metal Mulisha, because we all teamed up. They bought a foam pit. We all like practiced together to like all evolve as a team. And that's where I really got into pills, dude. That's where my friend told me about this doctor in the valley. You can go and get 125 Norcos, 90 Somas, 80 Xannies every 2 weeks. And I'm like, and this is the 2000s too, right? Early. So 2000s. It's right at the beginning of like the Purdue Pharma fucking pill mill right shit there. For sure. It was insane. Yeah. So you quickly started turning towards the drugs. What did that look like from like a team perspective? Because you're on Metal Mulisha. Like, did the guys notice what the fuck was going on? Did they try and like intervene? It took a while. You know, it's like every country we're going, everywhere we're traveling, like right when I get there, I'm trying to find where the drugs are at, where the pills are at, you know. And it was like me and 2 other guys, and I don't know. It took a couple years before I started getting called out a lot, you know, because before that I could like do that, show up to a country, do what I had to do, and ride and like pull it. Yeah. And then after a couple of years, it really started to notice
Yeah.
when that's what it was only about, was the drugs.
I get it, dude. Like keeping that mask up, like for a while, like at the beginning, I remember in my addiction, it was very easy for me to make appearances and show up to fucking work. And also like being a DJ, like the lifestyle kind of calls for this partying.
100%.
But then eventually we always overshoot the mark and overdo it. Like our homies might be doing the same exact shit, but it becomes apparent that we're different.
Yeah.
Right. And that's when you kind of get exiled a little bit and you feel like you're out on an island alone, you know?
Big time.
So when was the first time? So you kind of stopped prioritizing motocross and then prioritizing the drugs.
Yeah.
What else was going on in your life then? Like, were you just like getting up, getting high every day, or were you still kind of hanging around?
I was still pulling it.
Yeah.
You know, waking up, just taking pills, whatever. But at this level, like I was a good functional addict, I guess. I didn't realize I was an addict. I've never been dope sick because I was on stuff the whole time. But at this time, the phone was still ringing, still getting like traveling all over the place, still doing my thing.
Yeah.
I think it really hit when I found that doctor. My best friend and my roommate died in the back of my truck, OD'd. We were just driving to go, and like before the day we could pick up our pills, it was like Christmas for me, like the just excitement, dude. And this was every 2 weeks. This is like when it became only about the pills.
Yeah.
Still riding. It was still like, I was still figuring out how to like do a jump show, make appearances. On the outside, it was all about the pills. And then, driving home, my friend was snoring in the back seat, blasted the music, drove home, got home, and he was stiff as a board. He died. And then it's crazy because at that time, like when I got home, the only thing I could think about was like, he has his pills. I better take those before the cops come. Like, this is when it really started to take over me. Like, I just didn't have emotions anymore.
For sure.
Only about the drugs. And then, we were filming some show, and the militia guys told me to come to their house. We're filming an episode, so I was pretty tuned up. Show up, and everybody had the fucking circle. Chairs,
Oh, you knew you were fucked, dude. Yeah.
But I got there. I saw like it was really cool because if you're like Pennywise, like there are good friends. Like so many gnarly people in our circle showed up. And that just showed like how many people cared about me. A lot of big time dudes that like really had my back, and they really saw what was going on. You know, like, dude, your friend just died in your fucking truck last week. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah, sat down, like, what's going on? And then, that's when they went around. Like, dude, this is like what you see in the movies. How did this happen? And I go back to this day a lot because I always think, what if I would have like accepted their offer? They had a rehab ready for me. This was like 2005. And I talked my way out of it.
Oh, you said no?
And I said no.
Oh, shit.
But it wasn't like, I'm over it. Like, I'm going to figure this out on my own. I know one of my buddies like, listen, I'm going to take Colin. He's going to live with me for a little bit. We're going to sober him up. So I really convinced everybody I'm going to get clean. In my head, there was no way. I never even thought about getting clean and sober. And this is like what we were talking about earlier, like social media, podcasts. I didn't know there's this sobriety world where people could get their life back from like,
you probably thought your life was over if you got sober.
I didn't know. And that's not an excuse. I just like, it wasn't even a thing in my head that, dude, maybe I can get my shit together and focus on riding, realize I'm living my fucking dream. I'm riding a dirt bike. And that wasn't it. Stayed at my friend's house and figured out how to have somebody deliver me pills at his house. I started going to meetings. Some guy like told me he's gonna like be my sobriety coach, whatever, and start taking me to meetings. But it was weird. I remember snorting Roxy's in the meetings in the bathrooms and like going to the meeting, and telling everybody how good I was doing, thinking I was doing it. Like I'm trying, you know, and
for sure.
Yeah, that lasted so long, and then everybody knew like he's just back at it. And then that's when I started getting into Oxycontin and then heroin.
Got darker and darker from
Got darker, and like just to say the word heroin, that's what it wasn't supposed to be. How I grew up, and like just this kid to fucking have a dream to ride a dirt bike, and like the parents I had, like I wasn't part of it, dude. Like heroin, and then I remember that's when like oxys, they got rid of them, and I was on oxys and like every other drug for like 5 years, and then started smoking black tar heroin, and like with that came like the level of dudes dealing the heroin were super sketchy. So I'm showing up to events with like these fucking like homeless guys, and that's when everyone really started to push me away. started losing everything quick, dude. Still like doing events, had a couple sponsors, but I really just started losing everything, man. And it just got really bad.
Could you tell that you were losing everything when you were in it? Or was there kind of like
Not
this
really.
delusion?
Still like delusion, my ego, because I still had like people with my name that really didn't know how bad it was, still like looking up to me, thinking like I'm this name in motocross. So I was run on this ego, thinking I was bigger than everybody and just like had this huge name, but really I'm just a fucking drug addict trying to pull it, manipulating everybody. And yeah, it got dark till like I just kind of lost everything, dude. I fucking traded my X Games medal for like 10 Roxys and thought it was like the best deal ever, dude.
Like pawn shop, or you traded it to a fucking guy?
Buddy, yeah, just
fuck. Did you end up getting it back?
I got it back.
Okay,
yeah.
that's
yeah.
good,
I traded everything I had, dude. Like,
fuck.
you know, and all my friends just really pushed me away.
Yeah.
And it's sad, like, because we started together, and then I'm watching all my friends have these $10 million homes on TV, and I'm in my room by myself doing heroin every day. And like with that, it's like, it was just an everyday mission, as you know, just to get it, getting home, cutting off little pieces, hiding it everywhere. So in case I ran out, I find this piece and it's the best day ever. But yeah, it just got bad. That lasted, I don't know, at this time, I think I'm like 29 years old, and I got into this at age 17. So that whole stretch was just drug induced and just fucking crazy DUIs, the arrests I've had, the cars I've crashed, like just so much shit. I shouldn't even be alive at this point.
Did you ever end up in like prison or jail or anything?
No,
or
I had
you managed
2
to stay out of there?
DUIs. I mean, just, yeah, jail a lot,
Yeah.
but like only like 2 and 3 days drunk in Publix, like shit like that.
Yeah, I got lucky with the same thing. I
Very
like
lucky.
never got into the system. When I look back on like the shit that I was doing, like I probably should have been fucking locked up, you know. I just got fucking lucky. So at this time, when you're doing dope every day, are you riding at all? Or you are?
Yeah. Not good.
Yeah.
Like just pulling it. You know, at this point, everybody's excelled so much, and I'm doing this same trick as I was 10 years ago. In freestyle, it's a 75-foot jump. And then when you go do all these contests and jump shows, it's all the same jump. At this point, yeah, I was still going big on my dirt bike, not excelling, but just pulling it pretty much.
Just kind of making like lateral moves, not like ascending. And like you were saying, the backflip happens and everybody's kind of taking it off, right?
Yeah. I mean, there was a whole stretch. Like when the backflip came about, I went down this alley and I was like big. I got a big name for going big. I started doing like long distance jumps.
Oh,
like,
sick.
One time I'd had like the biggest dirt to dirt jump. It was like 240 feet. Did that big train jump like before anybody did. It was like 180 feet over a moving train. And like, I just was doing
insane,
like
dude.
big, like when I was in like magazines and movies, my parts were the going big. That was like kind of what I was known for. But yeah, it kind of all went away, man. Like big time, lost it all.
So what did it look like when you lost it all? What was that moment where you're like, fuck, I've really done it?
The day was when I couldn't get black tar heroin anymore because I had no money, traded everything, burnt every bridge. I started doing dust off.
Oh, fuck.
Somebody told me about dust off. And that like month at the end, in my head, I figured it out because I'm like, well, I can't get heroin anymore. I can get dust off anywhere. Like this is like, I was just so mentally gone in the head. And yeah, I remember the amount of times I like passed out in Best Buy, Target with like people over me and just like turned into this crazy person.
Yeah.
I remember I got arrested right up my street for stealing dust off. And I'm not a stealer. I'm not, you know, I've never stolen anything in my life, but I was like going and stealing dust off and a cop arrested me. The cop knew who I was. He was into like dirt bikes and he like couldn't believe it was me. And like we had this really gnarly heart to heart. Anyways, he drove me back to my house. And that's where I got home and I didn't have anything. And I just remember I was so broken because I just had to get high, dude. Like if there was a gun, I would have shot myself, dude. And I remember like I was sniffing gas out of my dirt bike, like just trying to get high, dude.
Anything for a head change. Yeah.
And then, yeah, that day I broke down and I called my dad because at this time we were living in Temecula. That's where like all the pro riders lived. And my dad was in Moorpark. And I was so good at telling my dad how good I was doing because he only saw me at events. He saw the money coming in. And this is where I broke down and like crying and just said, I got to get out of here. Like I want to die. He had no idea. He drove down and it was like such a gnarly experience. When he pulled up, he was like crying. I was crying, sniffing gas out of my dirt bike. I just want to be dead, dude. Didn't want to live. Had nothing in my name. And yeah, that was the first time ever waving that white flag. And he had no idea about sobriety or like anything about this. Mm-hmm. And I remember like the next day he thought, we'll go to Kohl's and Target. We'll get fucking normal clothes and we'll try and make you like a normal person in society.
He was like, doing the best that he could.
Yeah. And I'm like, I just want out. I want out of this industry. I want out of the life. I just want to be a normal fucking dude. I remember like that next day being at my childhood home, my childhood room at age 30. When I was a kid, the fucking love and like the passion I had for dirt bikes and like being back at age 30, like a full circle. I reached my goals, did everything, and I'm back in that room with nothing in my name. And it was like, it was so heavy, bro. And like geographical changes don't do anything because I haven't been back to this hometown in 14 years. And like day 3, I found the local dude selling drugs and I was back at it.
And you were off to the races once again.
And it just got really dark. I remember my dad taking me to like drop resumes off. I never had a job, just trying to be a normal dude and back on drugs. I was so lost. Like 2 weeks later, went down to Metal Mulisha to go sign my contract every year because I'm like, that's just always like a lifelong deal. Mm-hmm. It was like an hour drive. I drove down there, hung out with those guys, signed the contract and whatever. It was like an hour drive, but it took me like 10 hours to get home. I was like on a dust off tour, stopping at Best Buy, Target, CVS on the way home. Didn't even know, like I was gone, bro, on the way home. Last thing I remember, I was in the parking lot of a Target doing dust off. And then the next thing I remember, I was in the middle of an intersection. My truck was smashed in, people screaming. Fucking, it was like chaos, bro. And like, I just came to and like the smoke, I was bleeding, people, like the carnage I just created. It was heavy, bro. I guess I passed out of my truck, sideswiped so many cars, head on into a semi in a intersection. And I was on the corner of the street, what I remember, and I just remember I had a full can of dust off in my truck. Only thing I could think of at that time after seeing the shit I just caused. And went back, got the dust off. So much cops weren't there yet. Went to the gas station, just started getting high. Like, that's all I can think of, bro. Like, wasn't about who I just killed, anything. And yeah, cops showed up, did this field sobriety test. I passed everything because dust off, it like wears off quick.
It's like nitrous.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But then the cop knew. He put me in the back of the car and somebody told me, go to that gas station. I saw him come out with the cans. And then, I went to Twin Towers. And that was my 3rd DUI. And that's where, when my dad and my sister picked me up, that's where they realized this was a way bigger deal than my dad thought. And that was 2012. And my sister and my dad rallied up and got me into a rehab. And that was the first time, age 30, went to my first rehab. It was a crazy experience, bro. Just going there, because just thinking like, this is what you see in the movies. I never thought I'd be here. And it was the most magical experience of my life. It truly was. I remember just waking up like day 4 or whatever and like feeling life without being on drugs and alcohol because I realized I was on something for 13 years. I was so fucking numb. I didn't even know. And it was just a magical experience in rehab, bro. Like, it was the best times of my life in there. First time I got to laugh, like the belly laugh. First time I got to feel, like, as cliche as it is, like the first time I saw the sky, how blue it was, just everything was new for me. It was like I was reborn again. It truly was. And yeah, it's kind of where my life restarted, dude. I begged my dad if I can stay in sober living for like 3 more months after that. And that's kind of where like life kind of took off again. I know they were talking about the steps and sponsor and all that, but that didn't even think about it. I just had to get clean and sober. And yeah, I got my first job with one of my buddies I met in rehab, first real job. And that was like, I loved everything about that, making an honest paycheck. And like everything I started doing in my life was like positive, bro. Got into running just because it was like positive. Got in, like couldn't even run a half mile. I got up to like running 10 miles a day. Just everything in my life was positive. And in this sport, people really started to see like, fuck, he is really doing good. And this is when social media just came out. I really started preaching about sobriety, how rad it was. People saw me, started to get my life back. And it was just a magical fucking time, dude. At this time, my dad got stage 4 cancer. And I feel like it was like such a blessing that it happened at that time because I was able to be there for him. He was like my best friend, biggest supporter. Now I was able to take him to chemo, radiation. He's, divorced, so he only had me and my sister, and I was his rock. But I was able to be there for him, dude. And I took over the business he had to keep the business alive. Just everything in my life was very positive. Everything with my dad was going on, but I was able to be there for him. I remember going to all the pharmacies, picking up his pain pills, bottles of pain pills. I never even
thought about taking them.
I'm like,
It's crazy.
Start preaching about sobriety. Me and my friend who's paralyzed from the neck down, we started a podcast before podcasts were a thing called Talking Sobriety. I'd get other extreme athletes on and just started talking about sobriety, how amazing it was. I got hired to be the main guy at Recovery Today magazine. It was a big magazine back then where I got to interview all the celebrities, got to interview Nikki Sixx. It was just rad. What this was doing was just feeding my ego.
Yeah.
It was just telling me I didn't need meetings. I didn't need to put any work into myself. I was just projecting how great being sober was, which I was sober, not putting any work in. And I was like, guy interviewing all these celebrities, have my podcast, getting messages every day. Dude, you saved my life. I look up to you for being clean and sober. You got my kids sober. So I was just I thought I was almost like God, bro. I thought I'm saving everybody. I'm doing so good. Just bought a house. I think I had 4 years. My life was fucking great. Really got out of the trenches, got my life back, doing positive shit. I just had a dentist appointment. That was it. I think a month before I just bought my first house. My life was going really good. And they said, do you want to, I think it was 8 Norcos. Do you need pain pills? And I just remember, it was just like that, bro. No, I didn't really think about it going in. She just said it. I remember yesterday, I'm like, all right, well, if I take them as prescribed, I'm not going to tell anybody, that's fine. And I remember going to CVS, filling those up, just, fuck, I'm fine. I'm good. It's been 4 years. And then, bro, it was nuts. When that bottle ran out, that, I just said one more bottle. And then I remember I went to urgent care, paid $100, said I blew out my shoulder, gave me 30 more. After that, one more. I remember I went to probably 80 urgent cares, bro, after that for the next year. Problem with me is I'm a very good functional addict, dude. I'm not going to pop 30 at a time and drill peas. Now I got a business. I'm helping my dad. I'm getting paid to be this guy in this magazine. I got a podcast. But now I'm on shit, but it just became this thing where I realized, fuck, nobody knows. And it just in my head, I kept on saying one more. Bro, this kept on going, dude. And it's sad. Every one of my sobriety birthdays, looking back at it, saying, all right, I'm 6 years clean and sober, and all the messages, I'm...
The whole time you're taking Norcos?
Oh, yeah, but it got worse. I met up, because I couldn't let anybody know. Yeah. It was way different, because before I had that lifestyle, I could just get fucked up.
You could kind of hide amongst the masses, yeah.
Now people are looking at me in this whole different way, dude. And they know I'm Mr. Sober guy, and now how did I get myself here? And it was just me. I was the only person that knew. Nobody else knew except this one of my old buddies that was I was trading product, because I still had a lot of sponsors at this time, give him that. He'd give me whatever I wanted. At this point, I'm doing Roxy's again. I just can't believe it, bro. It was the biggest monkey on my back, and there's no way I could let anybody know. I didn't know how. I didn't my ego was so big, I just couldn't admit I needed help. So at this point, I was trying to get off it. It was 2-3 years. I was trying to get off it on my own, trying to just take somas, trying to go Suboxone, back to Norcos, every variation. 3 years this went on. The biggest lie. Everybody thought I was sober, and then I was going to work one day, met up with my buddy, because at this point I was trying to take Xanax at a smaller dose to try and get off the Norcos, whatever. And looked at the Xanax, and it was purple and yellow inside. Never seen one like that. I remember I'm like, dude, this thing's probably laced. But but at that time I didn't care. You know, I couldn't be dope sick no matter what. Took it going to work, and I woke up in jail, dude.
Oh, fuck.
I woke up in jail and my work closed the next day. I guess I got pulled over like 2. I woke up the next fucking day, dude. Like, never experienced anything like this in all my drug
No
days.
memory whatsoever.
No memory, out. Total God moment, bro. Because I guess I did 3 jobs before this, wrote invoices, and it was weird because I can tell I was like legible, but things were off because after I like looked at everything I did, I don't remember anything from that day. I remember picking up the Xanax from my buddy. After that, don't remember anything. Woke up the next day in jail. I guess I was at an intersection at a red light, passed out, and I rolled into the car in front of me.
Oh, shit.
Bro, like, I pray on my knees every night, every morning that I didn't kill anybody, dude. Mm-hmm. It's scary, dude. Yeah, got out. It was crazy. Nobody could believe it. You know, I came clean, and it was just a really dark experience for me. Like, had to come clean. Nobody could believe it. But I told everybody I just relapsed, so everybody had my back, dude. Mm-hmm. Just get back up, you know. It was all ego-based, bro. That's all it was.
How long ago was this?
2018, 17. Okay. Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Went to rehab. I went to rehab for 30 days. That's where I met Andy Roy and had that joy again, bro. Like, I just realized once again, I just had to, like, figure this out. Now I know I can't go back to the pills. What I'm saying, like, no meetings, no sponsor. Yeah. I was better than that. Yeah, I got out after 30 days. Something really big happened in my life, and since pretty recent, I decided not to talk about this thing because for so long I was blaming this person's situation for why I relapsed again. But it happened like 2 weeks after I got out of rehab, and I relapsed again. And, you know, I just can't believe it. Went straight back, like a month later, went right back to that rehab. I went for 90 days this time, and that's where, like, all right, I'm going to try and do the steps, try and put the work in. I felt, looking back at it, I was only doing the steps for, like, maybe other people, or just to, like, let people know. I don't know, because I found a sponsor I knew I could manipulate.
Checking off the boxes, right?
Checking off the boxes. Yeah. You know, I knew, like, all right, this guy knows who I am. I know I could, like, kind of do what I wanted. That's exactly how it went. I remember, like, got through step 4 because I want things quick, dude.
Yeah,
I remember like back in the day, some buddies, they'd like read parts of the Bible and they changed their whole life. I'm like, I want that. I'd try. You
wanted the white light experience. Like, I want that shit now.
Exactly. Yeah, so I went on this whole Bible thing. Never saw the white light. That doesn't work. Yeah. I got to step 4. Didn't feel shit. So that's like, realized it's not for me. Fucking.
You created like a narrative. Like, I don't need this shit. Yeah,
it doesn't work. I think I got to step 9, got out, and it lasted maybe like a couple months, and I kind of went back at it. Started dabbling, dude. Not going big, but at this point, I just like realized like I just can't figure it out, bro. I can't do it. I've been to rehab 3 times. I have like so many people that support me and have my back. I just can't figure it out. And even to this day, like, I wish I could say like a meeting or somebody in the sober world like got me to like change it around. It was like my now wife. We met. First woman I never like met for her looks or anything. Nothing like that. It was just the first person I could be 100% open with. Her dad died from alcoholism. She's not an addict in any way, but I don't know. We just talked for a while, man. Like, I mean, about everything. First person I ever came clean with so much stuff. And I don't know, we just like really motivated me to like find somebody for real this time, because I knew I really wanted it. I just didn't know how, because I realized, dude, I've been to rehab, that didn't work. And I don't know, it's crazy how God puts certain people in your life for certain reasons. But yeah, I was at this event, and this guy, like, it's a whole crazy story how I met him and how it all came about. But we were talking about like, I need to find somebody, and like this guy just appeared and he just like resonated with me. He had his own program called Tactical Recovery. Wasn't 12-step based, wasn't out of the big book, which I loved because I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be like different, whatever. And he had his own program, and I did that. Loved it, bro. It was the first time I finally wasn't doing it my way. That was like a big deal for me. Wasn't doing my way. Reached out to him every day. I was doing his work. And dude, my life started to have peace in my head. Wasn't doing it my way. And my life changed, bro. Had 2 years of like real sobriety this time, not doing it my way. And I remember me and my wife, you know, she's my biggest supporter, but we were going to meetings, go to meeting a week. And I just remember now I got like 2 years putting the work in, but I just felt like an outsider at meetings. I'm like, fuck, maybe it's like, it's time to like do the steps. You know, I really figured it wasn't going to do anything for me. I just kind of wanted to say I did them just to say it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and I felt like I'm finally at this spot of like really clean and sober. I'm really putting in the work into this other program, but it was working for me. It built me this foundation. And that's where I told my wife I want to find a real sponsor. And that's when Robbie Patrick spoke at Oak Forest. And dude, it's crazy. Like I just said, how God puts certain people in your life, because I've never heard anybody like this guy. Always go to meetings. Never heard. He resonated with me. I think he's so cool, dude. And like how he made the steps. I like understood it. And I went up to him. I was so nervous. I'm like, dude, after the meeting, I got 2 years. I've never done the steps for real. Can you take me through the steps? You know? And I wasn't even saying like, I need them. Like, I'm good. I just want to say I did them. And he's like, yeah, gave me his number. And then, I feel like that's where my life really changed, dude. Because for the next 6 months, I drove 1.5 hours, sometimes 2 hours to meet Robbie every Friday at a coffee shop, reading the big book, word for word. And it was rad. And we talked about that. Like, I always wanted things quick. And he explained to me, dude, it like comes gradual. You know, sometimes like don't ever look at it. Just don't give up. And I got through all my steps. You know, step 9 was a big one, getting to make all my amends, especially with like Twitch and all these guys, like everything, the carnage I created. And they saw my journey, like trying to get sober, preaching about sobriety, but just to like for the ego part, and then always going back, fucking just back and forth. And I think they realized I was really doing it this time. Anyways, wasn't worried. I just did all my amends. And then after I got through it, he's like, all right, now it's time to sponsor. And then I think that's where this thing I was looking for so long, that's where it happened. You know, when I like rose my hand at a meeting and I told people, you know, I'm ready to sponsor, and started getting sponsees, man. And I feel like that's where that light I was looking for finally happened, bro. And it's kind of where my life is now. I got a couple guys through the steps. The steps are everything to me. It's crazy how long it took me, but like praying on my knees every night, I look at my day and I feel like fear and ego were such a big part of my deal, because I was never this guy, this tattooed fucking Metal Mulisha badass. I'm everything but that guy. Yeah. I'm like such a lover. I'm fucking a pussy pretty much. Yeah. You know, I'm a lover, dude. Like, I'm not this guy everybody
thinks that I am.
Thought I am in this persona, you know? And I just really had to look at my ego in a whole different way. And dude, praying on my knees every night, fucking praying every morning. I meditate every single morning. And that is like, I meditate about that time when I passed out in my truck. The times in jail, I hold on to those gnarly times in my life being dope sick just to realize what I have today. And
you can remember how bad it got. That's where people get fucked, is when they forget how bad it was.
I hold on to that I go to bed thinking about it. Every morning I think about that.
That's the juice to stay sober. You know, it's like if we can remember what it was really like, not what we want to like portray it, what it was like the fun, and because it's always fun, right? Like it starts fun. Nobody gets into drugs because they fucking hate them, right? Like I like the effect producing. It's fun, dude. But then when it flips, like people forget about what that feels like when you're using against your own fucking will, and you want like huffing gas underneath your dirt bike, you know, like
it's dark,
fucking crazy, dude. It's amazing how you can see, like, just hearing your story when you just started doing things differently. Do you see that as like an intervention from God or your higher power? Because like I know for me, similar, like I went to treatment, never did the thing, could get like a little bit of time, but never did the work.
Yeah.
And then one day I was just like, like, let me fucking try it. It wasn't me making that decision,
I think it's a full God thing, bro. Like how everybody was put into my life for certain reasons. And there's like other crazy stories how that all happened. But even like that first guy with a tactical recovery thing that built my foundation, because at that time I feel like I wasn't ready for the steps. I don't know, like maybe I wanted to be different, but that built me the foundation to not do it my way. Then like Robbie, like everything about it, I just feel like it was all meant to be, bro. And like where my life is right now, and if I would have like gave up any one of those times I fucked up, I wouldn't be exactly where I'm at today. And I just feel like everything in my life, it was so meant to be. And I always go back to that intervention day. What if I would have got my shit together at that day, started doing backflips, hung with the guys, then I got paralyzed from the neck down. Because I have so many friends that are paralyzed from the neck down, dead from riding. And what I realized, I don't care about that lifestyle anymore. Like, bro, for me, waking up, walking around the mall with my wife and my dogs, or just going to the beach, like, that's peace for me, dude. Like the small things in life. And for me, like I try not to overcomplicate it. Another thing I got from Robbie, for me, I know I need to stay in the steps because I've done it every which way. And when I steer off that, it'll get loose. So I try and have one sponsee, pray on my knees every morning, every night. And I just have a strong connection with God, man.
It's all you can do, dude.
Big time.
It's crazy. Like somebody told me in early recovery, like the absence of chaos is peace. And I was used to this chaotic fucking life. And it sounds like you were too. And then now like the simple joys I have are with my girlfriend fucking walking my dog on the beach. Like that is a perfect end to a night. Whereas before it's like, where are the drugs at? Where's the fucking party at? How can I go get lit? So what's your connection now to like motocross? Do you still ride? Do you
I still ride. I
it?
mean, yes, I love walking around the mall and the beach with my chick, but I surf every day, ride mountain bikes at a gnarly level, ride dirt bikes. I mean, it's not that I ride a couple times a month. It's just not number one in my life anymore, man. Like just protecting my peace, doing the little things that I have to do to stay sober. And, it's been a journey, man. It's crazy. Like everything it took me to finally like give in to like putting the work in and just realizing how the ego just killed me every which way. And I was never better than anybody. I just thought by all this shit, I was better than everybody. And it's just not. So ego definitely took me out every time. And, bro, my life's a blessing where I'm at right now. And,
It's fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming on and telling your
man.
story. It's super inspiring. Like there's so many people who I feel like never get this thing because they think they got one shot and they never keep trying. And you're like a testament to if you keep fucking plugging away at this thing, something's going to stick, right?
Brandon Novak's another big one too.
Yeah.
13 times in Rio.
Yeah, fucking insane.
Because the Metal Mulisha, we did Viva La Bam with Brandon Novak.
I think I remember that fucking
with
episode.
Gore. We were jumping over Gore.
Yeah, I remember
I rode
that.
through Bam's backyard through his window on a bike. We were so fucking coked up that night because Brian Deegan did a backflip over Gore. This is what changed it for Brian Deegan was his day. Stayed up all night, all of us on coke. Did a backflip over Gore. That was the scene. And he ate shit. It was super windy and his handlebar went into his chest and like ripped off an aorta from his heart. They said he was going to die that day. And I just remember me, Bam, Novak, and Fias, we were just doing coke all night thinking Brian Deegan's going to be dead. They flew his family in to like say his last words. Anyways, Deegan like prayed and like, if I stay alive, I'll change my life forever. After that event, found God, changed his whole life. And now he's like killing it. But it's just crazy because partying with Novak, how gnarly he was back then, and like where he is and like where you're at. I have so much passion for sobriety and like recovery, like the person you can be when you really give in and like put the work in. It's amazing, bro. Like your story, you shouldn't be here. Brandon Novak shouldn't be the guy he is. Sure, like dude. It's rad. It's a powerful fucking thing, dude, when you really put the work in. It's crazy.
It's a trip too, because I thought getting sober was like a death sentence to fun and who I was as a person. And addiction does is it amplifies the worst parts of you, whereas sobriety amplifies the best fucking parts of you. But when you're in addiction, you don't see it
You
that
don't
way.
see that.
It's like your love affair. You're like, it's like the toxic ex. Like,
Yeah.
you don't want to get rid of it. You're like, she makes me better. Really, she's fucking killing you, right?
1000%.
Yeah, it's
Couldn't have said
fucking
it better
nuts,
because it's so
dude.
true.
Yeah, and dude, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah,
like,
it
your
was an
stories
honor, dude.
inspires a bunch of people. Like, it's awesome to see what you're doing for the recovery community too. Like, I see you on Instagram all the time preaching the fucking word, dude. Like,
I love it. I mean, I just feel for now it's not about that. Before, that's what it was only about.
Mm-hmm.
Look at me, look at me. And now it's like coming from such a different spot, dude. I just want to be able to help. And if I can help somebody get into a treatment center, like in any way, I'm totally down. And that's why like my sponsees are such a big deal, because no matter how busy I am, once or twice a week, meet up with them at a coffee shop or at a park, and we just read the big book and just like doing stuff where people don't see. That's what it's about for me. And any way I can help, I always tell people, DM me, I'll give my number, help in any way. And that's just kind of what it's all about, being of service and just helping the next dude that needs it.
Fuck yeah,
yeah,
dude.
just never give up, bro. Like, took me so long to be here. I've been trying to get this since 2012. So like, if you're out there, just don't give up. Just keep on getting back up. Something will click. Just do not give up. It's like a big one for me.
keep pumping away, dude, for sure. Do you want to plug Instagram? What, Colin Scummy Morrison?
Yeah, Colin underscore Scummy underscore Morrison. And yeah.
Ruger wanted to make an appearance. What's up, dude? How was your nap?
Anyways, thank you very much,
Appreciate you,
man.
bro. Appreciate it. This podcast has been sponsored by Refine Recovery. If you or a loved one struggling with mental health, substance abuse, really just trying to change your life, give us a call at the number below. We can help you out.